no.
Ocho Cinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
His team hasn't won a national championship since before he was even born.
Diggs gone for the touchdown. Caldwell Pope. How about that one, baby? Let's go. Come on.
Come back, Kelly.
I love college football.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers.
Roll Tide, roll. Roll RMFT. Roll motherfucking Tide.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the NFL Weekly Matchup Fantasy Podcast. We are here this week doing the top 10 wide receivers and tight ends this week. Last week, we did the running backs, top 10 running backs, fantasy running backs, and quarterbacks. That was very interesting, Josh, especially Josh's, some of his picks there he had. I know he was a little mad at us for getting at him, but yeah.
Wait and see. Wait and see.
Wait and see. We're going to wait and see. Yeah, so how was y'all's week so far? Josh, how was your weekend? I know it's Monday. You're going to tell me that again. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Saturday there was a high school kickoff, one county versus another county, 3 schools from each county playing each other all in the same day. And I did the final game. Fayette County Schools swept Coweta County Schools 3-0. So the last game was pretty tight for a little bit. It was good to get back in the groove of broadcasting again. And we had to iron out some wrinkles with the connection, but we was able to get it going. But yeah, I did that Saturday night. Then Sunday, I just kind of stayed around the house all day. Yeah,
I want to be able to broadcast games. I got to write games. I got to cover games, but I covered the game around here, and it was awful. It was 30-3 or something. Team had like 115 penalties, and they hiked the ball. It was bad. And all the other games that everybody else went to was like ended up in one game-winning touchdown. So it kind of sucked for me. I got to go to the most boring game. And it was the longest, too. They didn't run the clock, so I had to sit there. Anyway, Clay, how's it going for you? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I worked on Saturday, and yesterday just kicked it at the house. Didn't catch a whole lot of TV or nothing. Just kind of did some errands and whatnot. But hopefully this week's a little bit more. I catch some more TV or whatever.
Gotcha. We are catching the Braves right now. The Braves did win over the weekend. They did beat the Astros, and I think they play the Mets before that? Something they beat the Mets.
Yeah, they played the Mets. They went 3 out of 4 on the Mets, and they went 2 out of 3 on the Astros. They lost Sunday, but
so how many games are they back? They only a couple. They should only.
They're 4. I think they're 4 games back now because the Mets ended up coming back and winning yesterday after the damn Phillies blew the lead.
Phillies blew the lead. It was like 7.
Yeah, Bohm hit 2 home runs, 2 3-run home runs, and the Phillies still lost. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't end up catching. I had tickets to the Saturday game, but I ended up going.
Yeah, we watched that game.
They had a walk off.
We're looking good for the wild card.
Yeah, we're looking good for the wild card.
We still got a chance to win the division, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're playing really good right now, so
for sure.
Gotcha. Anybody catch any preseason this week? I didn't catch much this week. I don't know. I caught a little bit of one of the games. I think it was the Giants game and somebody else. I didn't catch too much. We ain't going to talk too much about it. I know the Falcons are playing right now. They're going undefeated in the preseason, like Josh said. I don't think they've lost yet. Was this their second game? Up 10-0 right now. So, and then they won that game with a touchdown. Did y'all catch any preseason?
Nobody's won more preseason games than the Baltimore Ravens, but 22 preseason games in a row.
Hey, that Huntley, he's going to be a starting quarterback somewhere. He's pretty good.
No, I didn't catch it. I watched something on Netflix about Manti Te'o.
Oh yeah, I hear everybody.
God, that's on Netflix. I got to see that.
I hear everybody talking about it. It's good.
It's sad what really happened. Like
really?
He shouldn't have been so naive, but the person who catfished him they need their neck ring, man. That was it. All the details of it. It's just I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the details.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Good. And then I watched another untold docu-series thing on the Malice in the Palace, which
I've seen.
Y'all remember that?
Was that a 30 for 30? No, I've seen the 30 for 30. And I've seen I've seen that one like 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I've seen the 30 for 30 documentary. I love that one. I watched it like 10 times.
Here got off pretty easy, if you ask me.
Yeah, maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't know if I've seen the documentary or not. I know I've seen. I don't know. I'd have to see. I'm not sure.
They were probably
I've
going to
seen
win
it.
the championship that year. The Pacers were. They
Yeah,
were probably going to win.
I might have to go back. One thing that did happen in preseason, I will say, Josh's boy Matt Corral. I think he's down for the season.
I know.
So that's one thing that did happen. But I didn't catch too much.
Well,
Clay's
Baker's
boy,
the starting quarterback there.
yeah,
So.
Clay's boy Dubs is still out there doing pretty well. George Pickens, I think, did all right in the preseason. There's a couple good people that's dominating the preseason.
I
One
think
thing
Gardner
that
Minshew went 17 for 20.
17 for 20. I mean, there was a lot of good. I mean, a lot of people, whoever the hell, Brett Ripien went 22, 26. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks are just doing real well. One thing that did happen this weekend is, I guess it's the weekend week. I did get the new Madden 23. I did buy that. I bought the new Madden 23. No, yes, and we're getting there. I did buy the new Madden 23. I simmed into the future because I was the Saints and I was getting pissed off and I lost a couple games. Not going to lie to you. I'm not good at Madden. I'm good at basketball, but I'm not good at Madden. I simmed into the future because I was already out of the playoffs. Ended up getting the first pick. I drafted Bryce Young anyway. I did draft Bryce Young. But anyway, before that, I simmed.
Hold on. You got the first pick. You're that bad at Madden?
I simmed. I didn't play the
okay.
games.
Well, he lost the first two games,
and
then he's like, I'm going to sim the rest of them.
I lost the first game. Sam didn't won a game, and then I lost the next one.
I mean, what level were you playing on?
I like all Madden. I always play on the hardest one, and I shouldn't be. I always play on like all pro on Madden. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I want to play on the hardest one. It makes you better. Anyway, but I simmed it anyway. Simmed it. I got to the bracket. I simmed it. The Atlanta Falcons made it to the Super Bowl and played the damn Buffalo Bills. The Atlanta Falcons, Marcus Mariota finished sixth in MVP and made it to the Super Bowl to play the Buffalo Bills. They played the 15-2 Cowboys in the first round, beat them like 40-20 or something. They beat them by over 20 points. They played the next team. I think it was the number 2 seed or 3 seed. I think it was the Rams or somebody. Beat them by 2 or 3 scores. They did lose. They did lose to the Bills in the Super Bowl. They did lose to the Bills. But if there's no way that's happening this year. Maybe, I mean, I can see the Bills winning the Super Bowl, but there's no way the Falcons and Preston's over here getting hype about them preseason football over here. Falcons doing well.
Bro, you don't draft Bryce Young number 1 if you're the Saints. You draft Will Anderson Jr.
Well, I did. What happened was I don't want to get into this too much, but what happened was I had the first pick and I traded to get another top 5 pick.
Okay.
So I got Bryce Young, and then I was going to try to get Will Anderson at number 5, but he went number 4. He dropped all the way to number 4. He should have been number 1. He was the highest overall, but I tried to get him at number 5. But anyway, all right. So here we go. We're going to start with the top 10 wide receivers. We're going to start with number 1 here, top 10 fantasy wide receivers. This is fantasy football here. We're not doing, regular wide receivers, even though, this kind of could be regular wide receivers. I'm not sure. But anyway, starting with number 1, Clay, who is your number 1 fantasy wide receiver?
So I thought about this and I wanted to put somebody else at number 1 just because I think I would draft him first if it was me doing a fantasy draft. But I couldn't not give credit to the guy where it's due. I went ahead and rode with Cooper Kupp as the number 1 fantasy wide receiver. I mean, he scored a lot of touchdowns last year. He plays out of the slot. I feel like he's a little bit harder to defend playing out of the slot. And he can line up anywhere, really. But, so I rolled with Cooper Kupp, number 1 fantasy wide receiver.
Gotcha. Josh, who'd you have at number 1?
I got Cooper Kupp as well. I mean, coming off the year that he had, contract extension, and I think he's just going to produce really well. I think he will be the number 1 scoring wide receiver this year by the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't know about, how he's going to do this year. But if you're basing it off last year, you're going into the season. I mean, the dude had 30 or 40 more points than everybody, fantasy points, and he had, I think, like a few hundred more yards than people come. I mean, dude almost had one of the best. He probably had the best receiving seasons in a long time. I mean, ever. One of the best receiving, so you can't really put nobody ahead of him. I think if you put somebody ahead of him going into the season, I think you're wrong. now. But if you're predicting the future, yeah. But I just don't know how you don't put Cooper Kupp number one. I think, that would be wrong if you didn't put Cooper Kupp number one. I think that's an easy pick. Plus, they lost Odell, so that's another one. They got Robinson now, and I think Van Jefferson. But still, easy Cooper Kupp. And like I said last time, I think they did lose their offensive coordinator, but I'm not 100%. Anyway, let's get into the number 2 wide receiver here, fantasy wide receiver. Josh, who do you got at number 2?
Devontae Adams. Number 2. New system, I know, but who else has he got to compete with for catches? Waller?
No, Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow's a baller. That dude was catching all the balls last year.
Yeah,
but he could definitely. Yeah, that's probably the 2 best route runners in football.
I hate to say who I got next, but who I had next is who I was going to put second. But I just want to throw Devontae Adams in there second. Yeah,
definitely could happen. I just think there's a lot of weapons over there, so we'll see. It's not, super surprising. It is surprising, but not super crazy. Clay, who do you got at number 2?
I put Justin Jefferson as my number 2 wide receiver. I think he's one of my favorite to come off the board in the draft. If I somehow pick a wide receiver with my first round pick, which rarely happens, that's who I would try to get, either him or my next guy.
Well, you'd have to get probably top 5, top 6.
I know that's what I'm saying. But the thing about it is
drafting that high.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't draft, like I said before, I don't draft receivers real early. Like first, they're either going my second or third pick. I'll get my first receiver. My first pick, I try to get a top running back. So if it's him and Derrick Henry or him and
that's what I was about to say.
Him or even Najee Harris, I would debate on grabbing Najee Harris just because I like to get a top back.
Gotcha. Well, I also have Justin Jefferson at number 2. I thought it was pretty simple. Like I said, I think he had the second most yards last year, I believe. I know they have a lot of weapons over there. They got Dalvin Cook. They got Adam Thielen, who's going to do good. But I don't know. He should definitely be – he could definitely be the number 1 fantasy scorer, I think, this year. I definitely think he's that talented. And I think the Vikings are going to be better this year. And Adam Thielen, maybe he's getting older, stepping down a little bit. And they got KJ Osborne, who's supposed to be pretty decent this season. And Irv Smith, they lost the other tight end. But, yeah, Justin Jefferson, easy number 2 for me. All right, number 3. Clay, who do you got number 3?
I went with Jamar Chase. I really like Jamar Chase as a fantasy receiver. He's got other weapons around him with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Also, Hayden Hurst will play some in that, I think. But, I just think the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection is going to live on for a little while, and he's going to produce.
Josh, number 3.
I have Justin Jefferson, number 3, for all the reasons y'all said. He was top scorer last year. He helped me win the league last year. He was putting up points every week, so it's hard to keep him out of my top 3. So there's Justin Jefferson.
Gotcha. I got Jamar Chase, number 3 as well. This was very tough for me. I didn't want to put him this high, but only reasons because he caught a lot of, deep balls last season where he just kind of, broke off. That kind of where a lot of his points came from. And they got a lot of weapons over there. I don't know if he's going to, but maybe, full season this year. I don't know. Did he last year how much as early production? I know towards the end of the season he was doing crazy, but we'll see. Maybe he gets, starts off real well. I know he started off well last season, but maybe he's just full on explodes this year. He could be the number 1 receiver as well in fantasy scoring. It wouldn't surprise me at all, but I don't know. I don't know. It kind of worries me having him over Devontae Adams, but Devontae Adams is on a new team. But like Clay said, the Joe Burrow connection at LSU with Jamar Chase and last year, they already got, good chemistry. Josh, who do you got at number 4?
Number 4, I have Stephon Diggs. Number 4, he's Josh Allen's one of Josh Allen's favorite targets, and I think it'll be that way again this year.
Gotcha. Stephon Diggs. All right. He's got Diggs there. I think Buffalo's going to be pretty good. We'll see. Clay, who you got?
Yeah, so I didn't think nobody would have this guy this high. Like, I knew they'd have him high on their list, but I went with Stephon Diggs at number 4 too. Fantasy wise, last year he was still decent, but I think the year before, like, he was the number 1 scorer, wide receiver scorer, fantasy, I believe. And yeah, I mean, I think they got better receivers this year. As far as I think Gabe Davis is going to be on the come up. People are still like shying away from him because you hear people talk about Gabe Davis at the end of the year, and then when fantasy rolls around, they're like, "Oh, he ain't going to do that." Well, I think Gabe Davis is a good red zone threat. I think he may take some touchdowns away from Stephon Diggs, but as far as that goes, I like how they're using Isaiah McKenzie. He's been playing out of the slot in the starting lineup through preseason. So yeah, I think it's going to open some things up for Stephon Diggs, and I think he's going to have a better year this year.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, easy the number 1 receiver on Buffalo, so shouldn't hurting targets over there or anything. Number 4, I got Josh's boy. I got Devontae Adams. He's got the connection with Derek Carr from college, and he's best route runner in football. I mean, he's the best route runner in football. Only thing is he lost probably the best quarterback in football. Well, one of the best quarterbacks in football, which kind of does worry me. Like I said, some of those touchdowns that Adams caught were a lot of design plays for Devontae Adams just to get in the end zone. So we'll see what he can do there. And like I said, they got a lot of talent. It was hard. Another guy y'all don't have, I thought about putting in number 4 that y'all haven't said yet. I thought about putting in number 4, but it just because Adams is on a new team, but I couldn't do it just because it is Devontae Adams. Even though they got Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller and a couple other guys, I mean, he still should do very well and be one of the top fantasy scorers this year. And I got them going very far. All right, number 5. Let's go with number 5, Clay. Who you got?
Oh, I got to check my list. No, number 5, I got Devontae Adams. Yeah, so
I was about to say you better not have to check.
No, I didn't want. I didn't drop him down that.
You had him at number 6. We're gonna have a problem.
I didn't drop him down that far. I just I don't know with Devontae Adams. I mean, like I say, I think he's the best receiver in the league personally. He's my favorite, anyways. But the fact of the matter is, he does deal with some injury, especially out in Green Bay. He was injured here and there, and then he'd end up playing somehow. But I don't know. Hopefully he stays healthy this year, and I think if he does, he's definitely going to be in the top 5 receiving fantasy purposes. Score, I guess.
Josh, number 5. Who you got?
Jamar Chase is in my top 5. Yep, that connection between him and the quarterback that came out of LSU. Yeah, they got that connection. I think they'll keep it going. And, he does have compliments around him with T. Higgins. So, got Jamar Chase. He may really and truly, it wouldn't surprise me if he was the top scorer wide receiver in the league by the end of the year, as much as Burrow likes to air it out and sling it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many that could be the top receiving scores here. One guy I have right here, y'all haven't said yet. Hold on to your chairs, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get all the targets this year, I think. As much as I hate him, CD Lamb. He's going to number 5 for me. This is going to be a guy I'm drafting in a lot of leagues. They have nobody else to throw to. They got Schultz, but I just think he's going to get peppered with targets. I think he's going to get a lot of targets, staying healthy if he stays healthy, if Dak stays healthy. Cowboys should be good this season. I think they're still going to be good. And if Zeke can't run the ball, if they're down, whatnot, people CD Lamb, unless what's the rookie receiver's name? I forgot his name that people are drafting right now. Unless he comes out and does really, really well. Either way, I think CD Lamb's going to get peppered with targets. The only thing is, as far as touchdowns, I'm not sure. He's not like a, crazy touchdown threat. I could see Dalton Schultz, a guy we're probably going to talk about later, getting a lot of touchdowns. But I don't know. I mean, like I said, he's probably my favorite receiver to draft this year is CD Lamb at number 5. Number 6, who you got, Josh?
Number 6. Y'all ready to laugh again? Ready to see y'all's shock on your faces? Mike Evans. Number
It's not a
6.
shot. That's not a
Okay.
shot.
All right, yeah.
I think that's a lot of touchdowns.
Wasn't he their leading scorer last year
Mhm.
as on the receiving corps, and I think it's going to be the same this year. I know that they got Julio Jones, but I don't see him staying healthy all year. And when he is on the field, it might take some pressure off Mike Evans, but Mike Evans.
Yeah, they
number
got
6.
Godwin too, who can't. He's had some injury problems too. But Mike Evans is just a big body. He's going to catch all the touchdowns. I mean, it's going to be a good one. I mean, I'm just not a big fan of Mike Evans. Plus, he's on Tampa Bay. So anyway, Clay, who you got at number 6?
Number 6, I rolled with Deebo Samuel. I like the way they use him. Fantasy wise, he can score with his feet. He can score rushing, and he can score, passing the ball. I look for him to be a guy that Trey Lance hits for a little bit of slant routes, and Deebo does a lot after the catch. So that's who I rolled with at number 6.
Michael Harris, ground rule double. Sorry, or no, home run. Never mind, home run. Damn, that ball went over. Shit, sorry, that ball went over. Michael Harris, 2-run home run.
Nice.
Braves up, top of the 5th. Anyway, you had who'd you have? Sorry, I knew who you said, but Deebo.
It's Samuel, yeah.
Deebo. All right, number 6. I got a guy you guys already said. Stephon Diggs, number one receiver on that team. Going to get a lot of targets. Going to score, like Clay said. Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox may take some touchdowns for him and the running game. Even though they don't really run the ball, Josh Allen likes to run it in. So I mean, could take away some touchdowns from him. But yeah, Diggs could be definitely easy. Could be a top 5, top 3 fantasy wide receiver. Number 1's kind of pushing it for me, but he could even do that. Any of these guys could really get up there because CeeDee Lamb just had such an outlier season last season. I don't know if he does that again. Anyway, number 7. I'll start with number 7 here. I went with Clay's, who Clay just said. I went with Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel, I don't buy in that they're not going to use him the same way. I think he's going to run the ball still. I think he's going to catch a lot of targets. That's the only thing. So if they don't use him the same way, if for some reason he's not rushing the ball the same way, it is going to kill him a lot. Because there's games, if you look at it in the past, if you look at last year's some of the games, he's really not getting some of the he doesn't really get like a bunch of targets a lot of games. There's games he'd only get a few targets, but he'd run the ball. So if he don't run the ball, that might hurt him. That could be troublesome. But I just think if he does, he could be way up this list if he does continue to do what he did last year and get targets, and the 49ers be really good. So I went with Deebo, number 7. Josh, you got number 7.
I got Keenan Allen, number 7.
Okay.
I just, Herbert, he's a great quarterback. Got to look at these guys' quarterbacks. And when we get further down the list, it's going to be like, what's he talking about when he's talking about the receivers' quarterbacks? Because a couple of these guys' quarterbacks are going to be questionable a little further down my list. But, I like that connection between him and Herbert, and I think he's a top scorer every year, and I think he fits good at number 7.
Gotcha. Clay, who you got at number 7?
Before I mention my number 7, I want to talk about Deebo Samuel real fast. Until they started using him rushing the ball, he was getting the lowest before week 10. Week 1 to week 9, he was still averaging around 9 to 10 targets. Then when he started running the ball, that's when he lost the targets on that.
Yeah,
sorry I threw that out there.
No, you're good.
But I just wanted to say that I think if they do, decrease him running the ball, or if they don't allow him to run the ball anymore, whatever, I still think he's going to have some target shares, especially just some little slant routes or whatever.
And he's got a new quarterback that may even target it even more. He's got a better quarterback, I think, now. So, I just know, like I said, if he doesn't run the ball, maybe he doesn't score as much. Maybe they look for Ayuk more, who we drafted last year, who didn't play worth shit, who we got last year that we thought was going to do really good, and he didn't. Maybe that happens this year. I don't know. But, yeah, good point. Who you got?
So we on number 7, right?
7, yeah.
All right, so y'all probably don't have this guy as high because he went to a different team and they ain't gonna air the ball out because Tua can't throw the ball that far. I put Tyreek Hill at number 7. Reason being is because like I said earlier in a couple episodes, I've been listening and they've been running him like they were Samuel out of the backfield. If they do that with him, I think he's going to be explosive. Also, the fact that they're gonna play Tyreek a little different. They may not, try to heave it down the field for him. They may just, dump it off to him and see what he can do. The dude's quick. I mean, so yeah, I went with Tyreek Hill.
I absolutely agree. I think if Tyreek Hill stays healthy, I mean, he's going to be just as good, I think.
Little bubble screen passes to him, or them where they come in from the outside and run back across the middle. Those type screen passes, wide receiver screens, man, are quick slants. I mean, nobody throws a quick slant better than Tua. Tua gets that ball out and quick. He's got one of the fastest releases I've ever seen in football.
I mean, and he's got they got one of the, who I think is going to be one of the best receivers in the league on the other side, Jalen Waddle. I mean, that's going to be tough to cut. I mean, one of them's going to be open.
And to give and to get a little bit off of Tua a little bit, Patrick Mahomes underthrew Tyreek Hill too. I mean, how many people can throw to Tyreek Hill when he gets down the field so fast?
Yeah. Well, exactly. All right, where are we at? You gave your number 7, right, Josh? We're at number 8 here. Clay, who you got at number 8?
Number 8. Damn, dude, I keep messing this up. Oh, number 8, I went with Chris. I got CD Lamb. I didn't even know if y'all would have him on your list. I went with him, like Chris said, just because of the fact of he's the only one there. So he should produce some type of target, big target share. So, yeah, I roll with CD Lamb, number 8.
Josh, number 8. Who you got?
All right, now I got somebody that y'all ain't said yet, and
I had Michael Harris on fantasy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't realize I had him. I apologize.
I'm a little concerned about the quarterback play. Maybe, I like Jalen Hurts, but I went with AJ Brown as my number 8.
I think that's a good pick. I think it's going to be boom or bust, I think.
And like, y'all gonna laugh. I didn't put Deebo Samuel in. I think he's gonna have a down year.
Yeah, well, go ahead and ruin it for us now, why don't you?
Yeah, I think he's not in my top 10, but I got AJ Brown right there. I think he's gonna have a better quarterback throwing to him than he did in Tennessee. And we'll see what they do with the playbook with him, and see what with Devontae Smith over there. I don't know, man. There's
nothing wrong with it.
If I had to draft either AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, I don't know who I would pick.
I think AJ Brown's one of the most talented guys in the league. I really do. I think if you put him on a team with a good quarterback, I like AJ Brown. Now, some people down Jalen Hurts' throwing ability. I mean, I watched him at Bama and I've watched him on the Eagles. I thought he's always thrown a pretty good ball. I mean, personally, but I've seen a lot worse quarterbacks.
Well, he's one 2-read run. One read, 2-read run.
Yeah.
And he only got that way at Oklahoma. At Alabama, he was 1-read run.
Yeah, and I think I wouldn't. I don't know. I think AJ Brown is either going to be a top 10 or he's not going to be that great. I think it's going to be one or the other. I don't know, but I do like him as a talent. I think he's easy a top 10 talent, if not better. I've always liked AJ Brown. Can definitely. I mean, he's had games where he put up over 40 fantasy points. So, all right, hold on to your chairs once again, ladies and gentlemen. Number 8. We're going to a team Josh mentioned he's really high on, and I'm high on this guy. Even though they're going to run the football, he's going to get the targets. I think he's going to touch touchdowns. I'm going with Michael Pittman Jr., number 8. I'm going with Pittman. I don't know. I'm trying to be aggressive here. I want to be a little different. I just think Pittman's going to have a really good year if he's healthy, catch a lot of touchdowns. He's the number 1 receiver easily. I mean, who else they got? Who's their number 2? Paris Campbell? Are you kidding me? And that dude can't stay healthy. He's been hurt every year. And they got some rookie. I just think and one thing is people could say that could hurt Michael Pittman. Maybe they'll double Michael Pittman and that could hurt him. That definitely could. But I'm just taking a chance here that he's going to get targeted a lot. He's going to get targeted a lot in the end zone. He's got a better quarterback in Matt Ryan, who's I don't think going to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback, but he could. I mean, he definitely could. But I just think, I don't know. I think Pittman's he's going to have a breakout year this year. I think this is going to be the breakout year for Pittman. So does a lot of other people. I don't think a lot of other people have him in the top 10, but I'm going with him in the top 10 just because these other guys I think are iffy below him. Number 9, Clay, who you got number 9?
Number 9, I have Mike Evans. If he stays healthy, that's the only thing. I mean, I don't see myself drafting Mike Evans just because of the fact that he's already dealing with some hamstring issues. And Brady's O-lines, they keep dropping like flies here lately. What's he got? 3 of them down already?
Yeah.
Center's out for the season, so I don't know. But when I did this list, I couldn't put Mike Evans out of there just because he always he'll have 2 or 3 fantasy weeks where he scores 3 damn touchdowns, and it's like, where did he come from? And then he'll have other weeks where he only produces 12 points. So I don't know.
Too much for touchdown threat. Yep.
Yeah.
Josh, who you got at number 9?
Number 9, I got Tyreek Hill. I was gonna leave him off just because I don't know if I can trust the Dolphins too much. But like I said, I think they're gonna utilize him more in the short passing game, some bubble screens. He's gonna get the receptions, and so I got Tyreek Hill.
Definitely Tyreek Hill. Number 9, I know he's dealing with injury like Clay said. I just think he's too much of a touchdown threat. I'm going with Mike Evans. They already got a couple guys that are, Julio Jones and guys that can't stay totally healthy over there. And Mike Evans just is going to be looked for in the end zone. I mean, Tom Brady, I know it took some time last season to get used to Mike Evans, or maybe not last season, the year before, whenever Brady went in there. It took a time for him and Evans to get that good connection, but I think they have it now. He looks for Evans a lot in the end zone, so I'm going with O'Neal Cruz hit a touchdown. Sorry. Hit a home run. Sorry. O'Neal Cruz hit a home run. Damn, I was going to pick him too. Anyway, number 9, I got Mike Evans. Let's go to number 10. Josh, who you got at number 10?
I got Michael Pittman, number 10. I think that's going to be a real quick connection for Matt Ryan over there. I think they're going to have some chemistry, and I think he's going to be his go-to guy. I mean, and look, man, the teams are going to be stacking 7, 8 in the box, and the Colts have a good offensive line. If they can buy Matt Ryan just a little bit of time, Pittman one-on-one, man, I'm telling you, teams are going to be stacking the box against the Colts, man. Until about 4 or 5 games into the season, and they're going to realize that they're not going to be able to do that. And the Colts are going to be something to deal with this year, man.
I got to get some more Pittman. I've done some best ball leagues, and I need to get – I don't think I've gotten Pittman yet. I've done a few best balls. I don't know. It's just like fantasy, except for on DraftKings. You do it, but you can't pick up nobody. But anyway, I haven't picked Pittman yet. I need to get Pittman because he's probably – him and C.D. Lamb are probably 2 of my favorite to draft right now. Clay, who do you got at number 10?
I'm going to get Josh a damn Colts jersey. Let's go ahead and get him one. Start the funds up.
Matt Ryan, yeah, I'll get it for him. I got you.
Yeah, so number 10, I couldn't leave this guy off my list. And it's probably somebody y'all do not have at all. But I rolled with DJ Moore at number 10. The dude, who was his quarterbacks the past recent years? I mean, now he's got Baker Mayfield, and I'm not saying Baker Mayfield's the greatest quarterback, but I'm just saying Baker's got a point to prove. He's coming out to prove a point, and DJ Moore averages probably 10 to 11 targets a game
at
the
least
past couple of years, and he's somebody people sleeps on. So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely going. I think he's going to have more touchdowns this year. That's more points for him, and I just think he's going to have a really good fantasy years. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes higher than number 10.
Yeah, no, I like DJ Moore. I was looking back at stats. I mean, this dude gets so many targets. I mean, he just gets a lot of targets. One could say McCaffrey was out, but I don't know. Like you said, he's got a better quarterback, maybe not by much, but he is a better quarterback. And I know he's only 5'1". Maybe he's going to dump off to even McCaffrey even more, but we'll just have to see. I think DJ Moore could definitely be a little bit of a sleeper, I would say. But number 10, I got can't leave Tyreek Hill off. I'm going with Tyreek Hill. Like you said, new team. Tua, I think Patrick Mahomes, I've always had him as one of the most talented, probably the most talented quarterback I've seen. He can just launch the ball. But I probably can't say that no more because there's so much talent we have at the quarterback position. These new quarterbacks can just throw it so far. Anyway, yeah, we're just going to have to see what he's going to do there, what it's going to look like in the offense, what they're going to set it up for him. Like Clay said, it could definitely be a Debo kind of situation. But yeah, Tyreek Hill, number 10. All right, boys. Any sleepers? Do we have any sleepers you guys want to lift off? I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say you guys maybe have honorable mentions. I really didn't I just put a lot of all in the sleepers because me personally, after this, besides a couple people you guys had, I really didn't see nobody else. I don't think I can put inside the top 10. So I listed all of them sleepers personally.
Yeah.
But,
a couple of my guys that I had, y'all already mentioned them, CeeDee Lamb, Debo Samuel. But what about DK Metcalf or that McLaurin, Terry McLaurin?
Yeah, Terry McLaurin, yeah. DK Metcalf.
He got some points last year.
Yeah, Metcalf, we're just going to have to see. I just don't know with the quarterback situation, and I think Seattle's going to be bad. But one thing that and Seattle likes to run football, but one thing, where they could be a sleeper if DK Metcalf's getting drafted late. If you think about it, Seattle's going to be down in football games. They're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball, so maybe Drew Lock or whoever the quarterback's going to be looks for him a lot more. That could be, the way I need to think about it a little bit more because I just kind of been erasing these Seattle guys. But if they're going to be down in football games, they're going to need to throw the ball. So maybe you got to look at that a little bit more. Any more, Josh? Any more you got?
That's all I had.
Clay, who you got?
That's my sleeper. But so those
ain't nobody sleeping on them. I hate to tell you, everybody's drafting them, but go ahead.
Those top 10 receivers are like guys that I'd look at as my number one on my fantasy draft, drafting that receiver first as my first receiver off the board. But yeah, so obviously I like guys like Jalen Waddle, but I also like St. Brown, Detroit. I'm going to roll with somebody from Detroit. Don't sleep on Juju Smith-Schuster this year. Pat Mahomes still going to throw the damn ball. And Juju, look, Ben couldn't throw the ball. Ben threw the ball 20 yards. So let's be real. Juju is going to be a guy. He's going to have a way better fantasy year this year. Also, I like Jerry Jeudy. I think he could be a good receiver for Russell Wilson. Don't sleep on Allen Robinson either, playing alongside Cooper Kupp. But another guy that people are forgetting that if I said top 10 wide receivers in NFL football right now, that I can't put him in fantasy just because he is suspended, but D-Hop. You get D-Hop in the fantasy league and stash him, that's a guy I'm going to be getting because if the Cardinals are playing in it, D-Hop's going to he's going to produce fantasy points.
Well, what about Michael Thomas? What about Michael Thomas?
Oh, and I have Michael Thomas.
I have Michael Thomas too, and I want to say I did hear something about a hamstring injury today. That worries you with the wide receiver. When you got a hamstring injury as a wide receiver, it kind of sucks. So it does kind of worry you a little bit. But if you can get Thomas late, he's one of the most talented receivers out there. That's all you had. Some of the guys I have, A.J. Brown, Josh said, any Chargers wide receiver. I think you can get either one. Allen or Mike Williams. Big Mike. Everybody sleeps on Big Mike. I love Big Mike Williams. Mike Williams can outscore Keenan Allen. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Amari Cooper. Who else they throwing the ball to? Really. Amari Cooper's gonna have to catch footballs, and I think he's got the talent. If it was Amari Cooper, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper might be in my top 10 receivers. It's just not Deshaun Watson yet. I think Amari Cooper, getting him late, I don't think it's bad. I think he's going to catch the football. He's just going to get a lot of targets. Allen Robinson I had, Michael Thomas, Rashad Bateman. I got a bunch. Rashad Bateman, going to be the number one receiver on the Ravens. Broncos wide receiver, either one, Jerry Jeudy or Cortland Sutton. They're both going to do really well. The only thing is I don't know who to choose. I don't know who to choose. If I can get either one, I like either one. Marquise Brown, like him. Like I said, he's going to be the number one for a while if he's healthy. St. Brown, Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen's going to produce points. Alan Lazard, going to be the number one on Green Bay. Alan Lazard should have a really big year, I think. It's going to be probably Aaron Rodgers' favorite target. Jarvis Landry, Devontae Smith. I got a bunch of those. Romeo Dubs, Pickens, Kadarius Toney. Like him on the Giants. Like Clay said, Juju, DeAndre Hopkins,
I mean, there's
Rondell
a lot of
Moore. I just mentioned a bunch.
The second
Yeah.
tier, there's a lot in that second tier that you really just can't.
Yeah.
I just can't really rank them. You know.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just mentioning a bunch, but a lot of those guys like Brandon Ayuk. I like him, and the last one that probably could be good is another Cowboys receiver because, like I said, CeeDee Lamb's going to have to. I mean, there's going to be somebody else catching the football, so somebody else is going to do good there. I just don't know who it is. So, yeah. Let's get into the top 10 tight ends. We're timing it out pretty good, hopefully, here. Let's get into the top 10 tight ends. Josh, who do you have as your number one tight end?
Travis Kelce, number one tight end. I mean, I would expect that to be across the board. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe y'all have the other guy that wears red with the last name starts with a K. I don't know. But Kelce is my number one tight end.
Gotcha. No, yeah, good pick. Clay, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I got Kelsey too. He's the best tight end in the league. There's no reason to take that away from him. And I mean, his target share could go up this year. You never know. So even though he's like, what is he, 33 years old? You know, he's still going to produce points. So
I don't know. Yeah,
Antonio don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I just try to throw that out there.
Yeah, somebody look that one up for me. Gates and Tony Gonzalez was doing it for a long time. So
yeah,
they were you know, tight end, you could do it for a long time. Yeah, I got Kelce. I mean, like you said, target share could go up. He's going to catch touchdowns. I mean, Kelce should be your number one. The other guy I was debating was not the one Josh was talking about, but who I think he was really good last year, and he was.
Well, go ahead,
I'll go ahead and give it Mark Andrews. I mean, he had over 1,000 yards last year. I mean, and Lamar Jackson looks to the tight end a lot, who I got number two. I mean, he looks to the tight end. They have nobody to throw the ball to. Like I said, Rashad Bateman's the number one receiver. If they throw the ball, I mean, Mark Andrews is going to get targets. I was looking at games last year. He was really good. So, yeah, I'm going with Mark Andrews. Josh, number two.
Yep, I have the same one, Mark Andrews, just because of his bust-out production last year. I think he's going to feed off of that going into this year. And like you said, they got Bateman, and then really who else they got. And, yeah, Lamar Jackson, you know, he likes to run out of the pocket and dump it off to his tight end about 15, 20 yards down the field. Let him rumble for a few more yards. That's what they like to do.
Yeah, their number two receiver, I think, is Duvernay. I remember him, the special teams guy. Anyway, Clay, who you got, number two?
Yeah, I went with Mark Andrews too. I think he's just going to produce fantasy points like he does every year. The Ravens are really deep at tight end. What they got? What's his name? Boyle or something, and then another one.
Likely.
And then they got Likely, which is a rookie, and they also got another rookie named Charlie. They got the one from Iowa State, the rookie from Iowa State, Kohler or whatever.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
So, and both of them, one of them, they're talking highly of, and that's been really good in preseason or whatever.
I know. Likely just caught over 10. He had like over 100 yards yesterday.
Yeah, it might be Likely then, but one of them is supposed to be really good. So, I mean, they're deep at tight end. Maybe Andrews gets some. Lines up a little different here and there. Just how deep they are at tight end, you never know. But he's going to produce points.
Yep. All right, number three. Clay, go ahead and give us your number three.
All righty. My number three pick, I went with y'all's Las Vegas Raiders with Darren Waller at number three. I like Darren Waller. He's somebody I could draft. I draft tight end early. I think his target share is going to be there. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's the only kicker. But, yeah, so I roll with Darren Waller at number three.
Darren Waller. Josh, who you got number three?
I got George Kittle, number three. I think he's going to be a good target for that quarterback they got down there who doesn't have a lot of experience. I think he's going to be looking to check down a lot.
That's a good point.
So I got Kittle at number three.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about Kittle, I mean, he can surprise people and be number one this year. If Tebow said, I mean, Kittle's I love Kittle. That's one of my favorite players. Anyway, I'm going with somebody different here. Number three, I think he's going to get a lot of targets. Like I said, Cowboys don't have much to throw the ball to. We'll see. He Dak looks to him in the end zone if they don't run the ball, if Dak don't run the ball, or if he don't hand it off. I went with Dalton Schultz. It's my number 3 tight end. I just like him in the end zone. Tried to be different. It's one guy I'm going to be drafting a lot. So Dalton Schultz. Clay, give us your number 4.
My number 4, obviously, I'm not going to let this dude slide this far down the list. It's going to be George Kittle. Like Josh said, I think he's going to get some checkdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes number 1, but he blocks a lot too because San Francisco does like to run the ball. So I went with George Kittle at number 4.
Hold on, time out. Can y'all hear them yelling in there?
No.
Okay, just making sure. All right, Josh. She's lying. She's in there laughing now. Josh. I mean, she's yelling.
No, I gave my.
Who you got number 4?
Oh, number 4. Oh yeah, we're going number 4. I got Darren Waller number 4, just because he kind of, if he can stay healthy, like you said, but last year was a kind of a breakout year for him, and I just like his size, I like his speed, and I got him solid number 4 in my top 5 of tight ends, fantasy tight ends.
Gotcha. Number 4 is going to be different again. One guy I'm seeing they're ranking as high as number 2. I mean, he's a receiver. He's going to be the main guy on the Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Pitts. I mean, I'm seeing him ranked. I mean, I'm not going to get him because I think he's going way too high, but he is going to be, I mean, he is like a wide receiver. He's probably going to get a lot of targets. He did pick it up last year towards the end of the season, but he didn't catch many touchdowns. People are expecting him to explode this year, who I definitely think he can. He definitely should. I just kind of want to see it to believe it personally, but I think he's got all the talent in the world. I put him at number 4. He probably should have been number 5 on my list, but I got him at number 4. Number 5, I got George Kittle. I said he explodes some games, and then other games he doesn't do so well, and he gets hurt a lot. So we'll see if he can stay healthy. That's the big issue with Kittle. Like Josh said, Josh did make a good point. He does got a new quarterback that could be looking for the tight end a lot. So yeah, I mean that definitely could change things. Definitely could change things. And Kittle can also put up 30, 40 points. I mean, Kittle is one of those guys that can explode. The thing about Kyle Pitts, he could explode too, but I don't think the Falcons are going to be putting up a whole lot of points is the problem. So so either way, I mean, you could probably go either way there. But number 5, who do you have, Josh?
Number 5, I got Michael Pitts, just because of all the reasons you
Kyle
just said.
Pitts.
I mean, Kyle Pitts. I'm sorry. All the reasons.
Colts, baby, Colts.
he's still thinking about him.
Yeah. So he does have a wide receiver type frame, and that's how they used him in Florida. Really, was that in the slot. He can line up tight on the tight end, and he can go in motion. Just a lot of confusion for defenses when you got a tight end of that size on the field. So yeah, he's in our number 5 fantasy tight end.
Gotcha. Clay, who you got number 5?
I got Kyle Pitts, number 5. I would like to put him higher. I just don't trust the Falcons, but I think he's going to have the target share. And I think he's going to have some weeks where he does really good. So roll with Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, it's just the only thing is, but people's talking him up so much. It's crazy. I mean, everybody's liking him. The Falcons suck, though. Number 6. Clay, who do you got at number 6 here?
Number 6. I went with my Detroit. I'm going to be a Detroit Lions fan. Josh can be a Colts fan. I went TJ Hawkinson, number 6.
No.
I just like TJ Hawkinson, man. And if he's there, I'm going to get him. I think he's a good tight end.
Good tight end, but when has he ever put up like 20
It
points?
doesn't matter. Watch
like
Detroit.
12.
Watch Detroit this year. Watch Detroit this year.
I'm watching Detroit. I watched them last year, and I watched all them other receivers and everybody else catch.
It don't matter. TJ Hawkinson, number 6.
I feel like they say this every year. TJ Hawkinson, here he comes. He's going to be a top 5 tight end this year. I draft him, and he don't do a damn thing. He gives me 10 points every week. And what the well,
really, let's be honest. Let's be honest. If you don't get Kelsey, Kelsey and Andrews are your top tier, and then you got like the next tier with Waller, Pitts.
You drop.
I guess you could put Pitts in there. Waller, Pitts, Kittle. Once you drop to 6, I mean, you're banking on your tight end to score you 10
I'm
points
gonna
a
tell
week.
you. I'm gonna tell you my
And
strategy.
you're not going to get 20 points. You're not looking at 20 points a week from your tight end.
I'm gonna tell you my strategy. One of my strategies at the end of this. But yeah, TJ Hawkinson, Mr. 10 points. All right. Number 6. Josh, who you got? Are we at 6 or no? Is it me?
Yeah,
You
I
did
mean,
number 6.
I can't believe he has him there, dude. I got Hawkinson as well.
Oh God.
That's right. That's right.
And mainly because last year I didn't even know who the hell TJ Hawkinson was. And I hit up Clay and he was like, "Hey man, you might want to pick up this Hawkinson. He's on, he's free agent now." And I was like, "Who in the hell is Hawkinson?" And like I picked him up and he was up there 17, 18 points.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He gave you like 13 probably.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah, I just don't say. I mean, he gives you like double digits, but that's it. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like people hype him up too much. He might have a good season. I'm rooting for him. He might be on my teams late a little bit if I need him because I am, like I said, Jared Goff may be my backup quarterback on some teams if I have a really good quarterback. So yeah, I didn't have Hawkinson this high, but number 6, I went with Darren Waller. Darren Waller, he's a receiving threat. He's probably one of the fastest, could be the fastest tight end in football. Should be open with all the other talent he has around him. Derek Carr, I mean, Waller catches a lot of balls. I mean, he's looked to Waller a lot. If Waller can stay healthy, it just depends how much is he going to lose with Adams there and Renfro and all that. I think Waller's still going to do good, and he could be open more in the end zone. We'll see. Yeah, so I'm going with Waller, number 6. Josh, give us your number 7.
All right. And this guy, I think he just hurt his back. I was just looking at it. Cameron Brate.
Ooh, God.
I think he's going to be good, man.
I was talking about a strategy earlier. And this was the strategy I was talking about. I don't think Cameron Brate is a bad pick, but
I'm telling you, I think he's going.
Damn.
I mean, he might be a little high, but you got.
Hey, I like Brate. No,
you got to make a name for yourself. You got to go out on a limb. You know what I mean?
Like, go ahead.
Have you seen Colin Cowherd's top 25 in college football? He has Georgia ranked 14th. He has Texas ranked 4th, and this is legit. His top 25. So you got to
tell you something.
Make a name for yourself.
You ain't Colin Cowherd. You're Josh. You are fuck Colin Cowherd.
Hey,
y'all
wait till y'all get my next. Y'all wait till y'all see my next guy. At number 8, yeah, going on time.
Clay, who you got at number 7?
Number 7, I got Dalton Schultz. Like Chris said, I think he's gonna be.
Y'all have him way too low. Dalton Schultz.
But look,
be a beast.
Dalton Schultz. I got Dalton Schultz.
You don't have Dalton Schultz. You are gonna regret it. You better get some Schultz this year.
Schultz enough.
Go ahead.
I can't put Graham and Brate on my list because the fact of the matter is they got Kyle Rudolph too.
You can't put who?
Cameron Brate.
Oh, you sound like you said Cameron Brate. I didn't know what you said.
No, Cameron Brate cannot be near my list because I think Kyle Rudolph's better than Cameron Brate.
I don't know about that. Brady looks to him a lot, but he can't be.
He does, but Brate's a touchdown.
We'll get to my strategy later. We'll get to my.
Anyways, I roll with Dalton Schultz.
Gotcha. Anyway, number 7, guy that gets hurt a lot. This is probably a bad pick, but Zach Ertz, still very talented. I'm going with Zach Ertz. I think he can get in the end zone a lot. Who else are they going to look for in the end zone besides Zach Ertz? I mean, Marquise Brown's he's a deep threat, but I wouldn't say he's an end zone target. Rondale Moore, not really an end zone target. Any other receiver besides Hopkins till Hopkins come back, whenever he comes back, they're going to be they might be looking for Zach Ertz if Connor can't touch the ball in the end zone. So if Ertz can stay healthy, I think he might already have a questionable tag on him. Probably not a guy I'm drafting, but I think he's got the upside to be easily a top 10 tight end. Number 8, I got Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert, another guy that I think, he used to be teammates with Zach Ertz, but Hurts is going to look for him in the end zone. Like I said, he probably could get a little end zone targets. Not a guy. He's probably kind of like a Hawkinson. Probably going to get you 10 points, but not like a fancy guy. Might not be a guy I'm drafting for upside, but some of these tight ends is going to be guys you're like, oh, you need to have somebody to fill the position, and you're feeling pretty good at them. If I get Dallas Goedert, I'm feeling pretty good at the tight end position. Not a guy I'm overwhelmed with, but none of these guys, after you pass like the top 6, I'm like really drafting that high. They're going real late. So, Josh, you got number 8. Is it right? Did I say 6? 8.
Number 8. Hunter Henry. I got him at number 8, and I think he's going to get the targets. I think Mac Jones is just going to, target him. Mac likes to check it down a lot, and I think he'll get the receptions. I don't know how much he'll score touchdowns, but I think he'll get receptions and yards. Like I said, when you get past the top 5 or 6, it's like a toss-up, really.
Yeah. No, I like Henry. I mean, Henry's a guy he did look for in the end zone last year a little bit, and he kind of stepped it up towards the end, and Jonnu Smith kind of took a backwards roll, and they like running them a lot of tight ends. Belichick does, so it's not a bad pick. Some guys that I think should be ahead of him, but he could definitely be ahead of those guys. Clay, who do you got at number 8?
I got Dallas Goedert, like Chris said. I like the Eagles. I think he's the number 1 tight end over there, so I roll with Dallas Goedert, number 8.
All right, I did my number 8, so we're going to number 9. Josh, give us your number 9.
Irv Smith Jr., Roll Tide. I mean, the dude, he didn't get used too much at Alabama, man, but I'm telling you, I think they're going to use him a lot over there in Minnesota. He's going to be good. He's going to be good. He has potential maybe within the next couple of years to bust into that top 5 tight end range.
Yeah, I mean, he's done good even with a tight end ahead of him. Dude, excuse me, but Albert Pujols is freaking smashing the ball right now. He just hit another home run. I'm sorry before I said that.
Where did this come from?
I just looked at my phone.
No, I'm just saying, where did this come from him? He's like 9 or 10 of his last 10 of 18 or something.
Dude, Albert Pujols.
10 times out of 18 at bats. Like, where did that come from?
He's about to be at 700, ain't he? I mean, he's just smashing the ball. Anyway, who'd you just say? Who were we talking about? Oh, Irv Smith. No, I like the pick. And I think, I like the pick. Definitely, he was doing good as a backup. Probably going to do even better as a starter. Clay, who you got number 9?
I was going to take this guy off my list, but since he got traded over there, he produced real well. Chris already said him, Zach Ertz. I think he does well with Kyler Murray, and I think, like Chris said, he should get some end zone targets. So, roll with Zach Ertz, number 9.
Zach Ertz, number 9. All right, number 9. I got y'all's boy. Couldn't leave him out of my top 10. Mr. 10 points. I got T.J. Hawkinson. If I need 10 points, if I want double digits, and I just say, hey, I want double digits as tight end, I don't want no upside. That's where I'm going in my draft. But I mean, I just don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. We can have this recording. I think he's Mr. 10 points. Mr. 10 points. If you want 10 points, you draft T.J. Hawkinson. If you want I don't want to say what I was about to say. I can't repeat what I was about to say. But
it wouldn't be repeating.
If you want to have some balls, if you want to have some balls and go do even better, you draft somebody better than T.J. Hawkinson. If you want to have upside, you get somebody better. Anyway, go to number go to number 10.
Who?
One of y'all, Josh, number 10. Sorry.
All right, y'all gonna laugh. Y'all gonna want to get me a Colts jersey again.
Oh my God,
Mo Cox.
I love Mo Alley Cox, but number 10.
Damn. I mean, did he have almost 1,000 receiving yards last year?
Who'd you leave out of your list? I want to know who he left out.
Zach Ertz. He left out Dallas Goedert, Dalton Schultz.
I left out
Mo Alley Cox. He's a touchdown target though. He is a touchdown target. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just like him. And I like the Colts, man. I think they're gonna be something to deal with. And Matt Ryan, he likes to hit that tight end. You know what I mean? He likes to.
It's a good point. Hey, Matt Ryan does like to hit the tight end, especially in the end zone. Hey, Might have to get some Mo Alley Cox. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know
Mo
if they still
Alley
got
Cox.
They still got Jack Doyle over there.
Did I get you some what, Chris?
Mo Alley Cox. That's what I gotta get. Yeah, definitely
Hey,
do. Hey, I
let's
do.
stay out of the alleys.
Hey, you mentioned it first, not me. But I do like Mo Alley Cox. Do gotta get some there. Anyway, Clay, who you got at number 10?
Yeah. So at number 10, when I made the list, I put Dawson Knox on my list, but I don't want to roll with Dawson Knox. He's like Chris said, you can guarantee 10 points out of him. So with number 10, I definitely didn't roll with Mo Alley Cox. I'm gonna do a sleeper guy at number 10 because I want to put Irv Smith there, but since Josh already talked about him, I don't want to talk about Irv Smith. I'm gonna roll with Hayden Hurst at number 10. I know there's a lot of weapons over there in Cincinnati, but I like Hayden Hurst and Joe Burrow pair. I think if Hayden Hurst is down at the end and I want to grab a tight end late, that's who I'm getting.
Gotcha. I did go boring here, but I do the 10 through 11 or 10 through 12. I was swapping out here a bunch. I did go with Dawson Knox, kind of Mr. 10 points. Like I said, if I need, Clay's got a point, but I think he could catch like 3 times. I think he's going to be a higher score than Hawkinson. I mean, I'll tell you that. I think if Hawkinson gets 10, I think Dawson Knox is going to get 12. So, I mean, he's going to catch touchdowns. I mean, he does catch touchdowns. I went with Dawson Knox there. Probably not a guy I'm really looking to draft, but if I need a tight end, if I see him there, I'm not mad at it. So, sleepers. I'll get into a couple sleepers I had. I was looking at number 10 here to go with Austin Hooper. I love Austin Hooper. Number 1, it could be the number 1 over there. Don't have no receivers really. If Tannehill's looking to throw to a tight end, I do like Hooper. Robert Tonyan, if he's healthy, Tonyan could be a top 10 easy. If Tonyan stays healthy, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, a guy he's familiar with, guy he looked to before he messed up his ACL, could be good. Logan Thomas for Washington, like him. Another guy that got hurt who's a real big body. Carson Wentz could throw to him. I mean, he was really good before he got hurt. Hayden Hurst. Evan Ingram's on Jacksonville. Didn't know that. I know I'm mentioning all your guys. Irv Smith, like Josh said, Hunter Henry. Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah,
I don't know much about him. But, yeah, I mean, I do know he did good last year, but he's just on the Steelers. And one strategy I want to mention before I head to y'all, I know we're about to get out of here, but I was going to say just get both of them. Get Cameron Brate and Kyle Rudolph and call it a day. I love that strategy. Yeah. I mean, Brady's going to look to the tight end. Now, do I feel comfortable them being my number 1 tight end? Probably. I don't know about that, but it's going to be 2 tight ends I can throw in there at the start of the season, see if they're doing good, and having them just drafting 2 tight ends that might not even hardly get drafted. You know, I mean, you could get them real late.
What about Higbee?
Higbee's still on the Rams. That's pretty good. I mean, I didn't have him in there yet. What about definitely good.
Cole Kmet?
Yeah, that's who I have as my sleeper. One of my sleepers, Cole Kmet. I don't think
people are sleeping on him though.
I don't think people are sleeping on him. They got him high up the list, probably like top 15. But I like Cole Kmet. Also, another guy that I like is playing for the Chargers, Gerald Everett. I just like Justin Herbert. I think he airs out the ball. Gerald Everett's a good guy. And also, I think the Broncos have some tight end that I cannot say his last name to save my life, so I'm not even going to try. But they're talking highly of him this year. I haven't heard much.
Yeah, he could be good, but I don't know much about him.
But my favorite is Austin Hooper by far.
Yeah, so, and I think my favorite might be him and Robert Tonyan.
Yeah,
I like Tonyan because
I like Gesicki,
yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah,
Miami.
I just think he's going to go a little bit too high for me, and he's going to get you 10 points.
I'm thinking about guys that I'm getting in 10th round.
Yeah, Gesicki might not get you 10 points. Gesicki might
7th round or later.
Yeah, Gesicki might get you like 8 points. He ain't probably even going to get you 10. He might get you like 8 points a week. So, but no, I do like Josh said before we go.
Somebody good to have on the bench for bye week.
Yeah,
that's a good tight end.
If you're drafting Tampa Bay tight ends, say if you do have Cameron Brate make sure you draft Kyle Rudolph behind him.
And then what are you supposed to? Which one are you supposed to play?
It's just going to piss you off every week because one's going to score a touchdown, the other one ain't.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you figure out who he's looking to ball to. I would start with Cameron Brate and then see what's happening. I mean, that's the risk you got to take. What if one of them
Where did OJ Howard go?
He's on the Bills.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely be it. That was going to be one of my
sleepers. I don't think but first of all, the Buccaneers coach, he never really utilized the tight end like he should when he had OJ Howard. OJ Howard's a good tight end, man.
And you put Cameron Brate in your top 10? If you want to utilize it, I'm kidding. But Brate did do well. I mean, Brate had some games where he did
Those are the dump offs. OJ Howard's more of a downfield guy.
Yeah, no, you're right. OJ Howard's more of a receiving threat. I mean,
yeah, he's more like a Kyle Pitts.
Anyway, we're about at that, probably right at the hour mark. So once I get this, that's pretty
Chris,
good.
you didn't put Taysom Hill on your list.
No, and I'm hearing he's going to be a starting tight end. He is not listed at quarterback no more. Taysom Hill is listed as a tight end, a sleeper. Yes, he's played tight end before. But that definitely, I mean, I don't know if I could draft him. But hell, I mean, what if they line him up at quarterback every now and then, getting touchdown? I mean, Taysom Hill. If we're allowed, I remember that one time when he played quarterback, we were allowed to put him at tight end. That was the best week of my life.
Well, what if they come out in that goddamn wing T formation with Kamara, Jameis Winston, and your boy Taysom Hill, like all three in the backfield?
And Taysom Hill, I mean, he could get more points. That's what I'm saying. If he runs in a touchdown or something, if they utilize him more, I mean, that could be.
You didn't have any Saints players.
I didn't have it. Yeah, because they're all like right there. I had him as sleepers.
They're right on the brink.
I had Kamara. I ain't gonna have any Saints at tight end. Who am I gonna have? Troutman?
No, I was talking about
just
this
Kamara
episode. Yeah, Michael Thomas is right on the brink there.
No, I couldn't put Thomas in top 10. Not with the hamstring injury. That's the only reason. I did thought about putting him.
Just mad because I drafted him last year.
Yeah.
And that was one of my top receivers. I didn't have him all year.
Anyways, next week we don't know what we're doing yet. Clay's laughing. I think we're talking about. I don't know.
What are you laughing at, Clay?
Yeah, we got we got I think 2 more weeks to NFL. Was it 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
3.
And it's something like that. Anyway, next week we talked about it maybe doing a live instead of doing the podcast. This wouldn't be on Apple Podcast or Spotify. This would only be on YouTube. I don't know if Josh would be interested in doing a mock draft. Maybe a live mock draft on YouTube, do it at the same time. It'd probably take around an hour, probably around the same time, do a mock draft. All of us do individual mock draft, or I can do it. We can all do one together and have some people join. I'm guessing we'll probably all do an individual one. I can show it on the screen. But yeah, not 100% until the regular season what we're going to do. But I think that's what we're leaning to right now, unless we have any other ideas. But yeah, make sure you check out the college show tomorrow. We are doing a college show. Bold predictions and week 0. We do have week 0. Do have college football coming up. What about you? About to say something, Josh?
0. Yeah, I was wondering what our agenda was for the show tomorrow.
Agenda. That's the agenda I had, unless anybody has anything better. But anyways, check out the college show tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe. This one, follow, or what do you do on Spotify? Download and follow. Whatever on Apple Podcasts, follow whatever. And like and subscribe on YouTube. Appreciate everybody watching. Peace.